Makes sense. Okay. And open notes. Okay. All right. As your team managed to more or less conquer the events at hand, one thing struck everyone's mind. After coming to the city and dealing it a hefty blow, you managed to take down one of the generals, well, the main general, the guy that leads the army, and is seated at the council. Down, and it wasn't pretty. It was very tactful, but honestly, it's a terrible way to die. After getting him naked in bed, and be assisted by a very... I guess she's more gender fluid, because she can change, but you really don't know her actual appearance now. She just keeps her one you saw. Semantics. After being helped by your companion or friend, ally, whatever you want to call them, someone useful, you managed to get him in his skivvies, and then immediately murdered the man severely. Mino basically ripping out the neck. Aster stab, 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 and Yoko stab, stab, throw, throw. Punch. It was very quick, and he didn't even get a chance to do anything. He tried to throw a pillow, but it immediately was met with Aster stabbing him to death. So, nothing.
Yeah. Yoko didn't actually hit him the whole fight. She just took his sword.
That's still pretty good. Unarming the man. Well, you also undressed him, but that's not the... Well, technically you... semantics! After taking care of that, you went back to, basically wash up, clean up, and rest for the day. Basically going around your normal routine without too much of a concern or without bringing yourself's attention. Your main job is to be told by the guy you just murdered to do certain jobs and tasks required. And that would be when you were called. As of right now, you haven't been called, so there is really currently no true suspicion placed upon you. So long as you believe that the one that helped you do all this keeps their mouth shut.
I would hope we weren't getting called by him to go work.
It'd be very weird. But, well... Akio says snake. But while you managed to do all this, you went to John's place to basically tell him, yeah, we did this, we're gonna need help. And more or less being convinced by Aster beforehand, your team is now on a waiting period, because this is gonna come out eventually, and John's gonna try to be the first one to put Aster in the running as fast as possible. He has the money, he has the connections, and Aster now has 2 blessings from 2 separate divine sources, which honestly should not happen, but hey, why not? And Milo managed to collect their own. Yoko didn't want it. If it didn't involve a sword, no thank you. But you are now within this transitional period. It is likely going to be 2 weeks until everything actually happens, because politics. So in that fortnight, what do you guys intend to do?
Does Gene need me for anything? Is what I want to make sure before I start doing anything.
Yeah, based on the information that he does give you, he does state that he's going to have to go, and once the actual people in power in the city are informed, he's going to do things to make sure that you are at the top of the list. That's not to say you automatically get the job, but you are the one, maybe out of 3, that is likely going to be recommended. He does state that he won't need you right now, but he will need you when the final candidates are chosen, which will likely be later on.
Looks like we got 2 other targets to kill.
That might be a little suspicious if my only competition fucking bites it, so...
Yeah, I was joking.
That being said, if he's going to be busy, if we need any dealings with his guild in the meantime, is there someone else we should see instead?
He immediately tells you, don't listen to my
His
assistant.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he is being basically controlled by the council members themselves. to keep an eye on the rich people that aren't really following the rules. Well, not following their rules. So, but he does state, I'll be here from time to time, but I can't be here all the time. I'll likely be here in the morning to open up shop. So if you need me then, you can definitely come by then. But afterwards, I'm going to leave it to my third assistant, my brother-in-law. He should be able to assist you if you need any more help during the day.
I'm
Very
not gonna
good.
lie, I thought his third assistant was gonna be Star.
Wrong continent. But if it was on the right continent, maybe.
Interesting. Hey guys, you want to go to find someone to do a bunch of drugs with?
Bring it up 3 times, and then it becomes something you remember.
I mean, it's your own fault. You kept trying to sell the drugs constantly.
Not to any of you. Just
Star
Oculus.
Star was attempting to push drugs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not Dogma. Dogma would never attempt to
No,
push
never.
drugs.
Don't do
would
drugs,
you?
kids. Drugs are bad. Unless they're legal. Or medical.
Before we leave, then, I'm gonna kind of look at Yoko and show him the sword we robbed off the man. I'm getting an echo from someone.
Can we like take him in back before we show him
It's
the
just
sword?
us in here. It's just
Yeah,
us.
it's just
in
you
here.
in here.
Okay.
He already locked up for the day. Sent his, I was gonna call him lackey, but sent his in-house spy to go and do random stuff until he can come back tomorrow. You are the only ones here, unless someone's invisible and currently spying on you.
Interesting thing that you would bring that up, but
I'm gonna start swinging my throat sword around until I hit somebody.
it wouldn't. I mean, we've already done so much with them here. They might as well get to know. But yeah, showing Jean the sword that we stole off the man. I'm gonna ask and see if there's a way for it to be reforged to look different, or perhaps glamored. I would prefer it be reforged for semantic reasons.
It's possible to be reforged, but I cannot replicate the process of the enchantment. If that is a
Could you make
problem, you will have to find the enchanter themselves.
Could you make it look different without reforging it?
I can temper the metal to make it a distilled color, making it darker or perhaps lighter.
That might very well be enough. What color is it now?
It's like a pure silver blade. A little bit gray.
So out of character, is this sword like super iconic looking, or is it just like pretty boring utilitarian?
It's clinically clean.
Generic-y.
Generic-ish, but the symbols on the blade themselves, if you actually like witness them, would be hard to forget. So unless you ever faced this blade and survived, or were alongside fighting with the man that you took this from, no one would really pay any mind to it.
And what were the symbols? What did they say again? Or did
They
mean
just read
anything?
Holy Avenger.
Oh, okay.
Written in Celestial. But yeah.
Yeah, perhaps making it lighter yet still to the point of being bone white would be what I would prefer.
All right. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. I will need it for a day. Not today. Today I need to make sure that I keep tabs on everyone that might involve themselves in this. But if you leave it here, I'll temper it tomorrow, and you can pick it up by tomorrow night.
In your hands, then.
You put it in the back room. He will eventually do that. So, don't do now. As you put it in the back room, you begin to spend your days. Day becomes 2 days, days become 2 weeks, and week becomes 2 weeks. During that intermission, what do you guys do?
Well, I already said it in Discord.
Yeah.
But Yoko would like to head back to the previous town we were in to retrieve her sword collection from the lady at the sea shanty.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is 2 weeks travel. But fortunately, you...
I thought it was... Isn't it one way?
1 way, 2 weeks travel. But fortunately, you accidentally, I guess, blessed that forest, which gives you a shortcut straight through and through. So it only takes 4 days to get there and 4 to get back.
Nice.
Yeah.
And is that like with a horse?
Yeah, that's with the horse. From what I remember, I said. I currently don't have those maps open. I just remember 2 weeks to get there.
I could probably run faster than a horse.
Yeah, with the horse.
Okay. I'll see if anyone here needs me for anything before I go about doing that. If they don't,
I was gonna say before we leave, if he does get his hands on the item I asked for, to just let me know, let Aster know, and I'll come and get it if he can.
Yeah, he does state. I'll make sure to let you know.
And then I'll give you the bow back. Out of character, or not out of character. Miley would also walk up to Aster and ask if he could teach him a little bit, not hand-to-hand combat, but I know he prefers hand-to-hand combat, but Milo gets the feeling that Aster knows a little bit more than just that, and if he could teach him how to fight with a quarterstaff better.
I mean, of course, but do you want to learn how to fight with a quarterstaff in and of itself, or are you wishing to use the quarterstaff as mock weapons of a different sort?
Well, from what I've read up on the item I asked our friend here to get, it acts as a quarterstaff, but also has other abilities.
So a quarterstaff itself. Very well.
Yeah.
Find us 2 staffs. A staff should be no more than 3/4 your own size, hence the name. And I will teach you what I can.
All right.
Okay. As you begin to spend the first few days, all right, Kasami is the one currently visible here. Yoko, you eventually drop your disguise or stop donning it. It's entirely up to you. But just because... Oh. I forgot about that. And there we go. As you begin to make your way back on horseback, without too much of an issue, you manage to get back to the old inn that you stayed at a while ago. It has the best food in town, and honestly, with the food that you were just having at that old town, it really hits the spot of nostalgia. You speak with the bartender without too much of an issue. She does manage to collect your things, comes back down at the sea shanty, and without too much of an issue, she does state, is there anything else I can do for you? Miss Yoko?
No, nothing comes to mind. Just a meal before I head out.
Very well, then. Now tell me, as she's like preparing your meal and putting it in front of you and giving you a drink, Tell me, is there something that happened with your friends, or are they, like, not here anymore, or did you simply go different ways?
Oh, they're fine. They're just busy and didn't care to make the trip back out here for such a simple errand.
Oh, I suppose that does make sense. After all, you only collected your swords. I just thought the honeybees might have decided not for you to, be a part of them, or something of that nature. It does tend to happen from time to time. I was a little worried.
Well, everything has been going pretty well.
Oh, that's good. Without too much of an issue, though, I would advise you to be careful, going around town as of late. Strange things have been happening as, well, I suppose I shouldn't say. Well, the force itself has been more lively, so I would caution you on where you go.
Well, the only place I'm planning on going right now is back out of town.
Oh.
So hopefully it shouldn't be a problem.
As long as you travel by day, it shouldn't be too much of a worry. But as of late, wild animals have been attacking more and more travelers. So do be cautious. I shouldn't say
course.
travelers, I should say hunters.
Animals have been going after hunters?
Yeah, well, yes. Not only out of self-defense as well, but hunters, gatherers, felt collectors, anyone that would potentially bring harm to them. As if they have a consciousness behind them. More akin to a humanoid and less of an animal.
Interesting. And it's just normal animals that have been doing this? Nothing, not any particularly supernatural creatures?
Not that I'm aware of. It's been mainly deer, elk, bears, werebears, actually some lycanthrope within the forest area are also acting up. It could be nothing, it could be something, I'm not entirely sure. There's not that many out there. But yes, also a lot of wolves, so do be cautious.
What area is this in?
Oh, it's further up north. Generally it's avoided as it was, a trade route for, nefarious means. But as of right now, it's just become more dangerous, so do be careful.
Well, I think my friends might be interested in taking a look at it.
I mean, colloquially, it's
one of
known
them
as the Haunted Forest.
particularly. Sorry, what was that? I accidentally spoke over you.
It's all good. She said, colloquially, or like locally, it's known as the Haunted Forest.
And is that where we were previously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it was a trade route that was super haunted, which is why people generally avoided it. And now it was still used for like hunting grounds and things of that nature. But since, according to Red, it has become more and more dangerous to go there, even while hunting. As well, the animals have been becoming more territorial. Including people with a little bit more animal instincts to them.
Interesting. Thank you for letting me know this.
Of course, do be careful. But if there's anything else, let me know. You're more than welcome to rest here for the night. And by tomorrow, you're more than likely ready to go wherever you may.
That sounds nice. I think I'll do that.
Of course. You begin to eat. It's a very fantastic meal. Do you listen to her or do you just go at night? It's probably fine if you do. Well, potentially.
I'm just gonna leave during the day, well, the next day, and
Yeah.
travel during the day.
You don't lose any more time. As you begin to traveling through the day, you do see through the forest. You do see like a few wolves in the area where you pass because you have to go through that haunted forest section to do the shortcut thing. But when they near and spot you, you didn't notice this beforehand because you were just traveling without any care or mind. But now that you're actually aware of this, you're paying attention to it. And you notice that a few birds are also in the area, like keeping an eye on you. But nothing seems to approach any closer. When they spot you, they simply look the other way and continue on prowling. And in a few days, you will make it back without too much of an issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will have been stopping by Jean-Luc's place every morning just to make sure he doesn't need me suddenly.
Yeah. Oops. I forgot to switch back to the awkward map. Oh, nope. It should have switched over. I'm just at a delay because I guess Roll20 decided to disconnect. As you manage to get back to Jean-Luc's place without too much of an issue, the following morning he does greet you. He introduces you to his brother-in-law. Nice enough man. Not someone out of dispute or like splendor. He's rich. His family isn't. So he doesn't really know much about the market, but he does have his books. And thankfully enough, he can read. So he can't get swindled. Or at least shouldn't be swindled. But Jean-Luc does state. Alright. If you need anything, Mark here will show you. Well, you already know the place around. But we'll assist you in anything you need. Right now, I am being asked to come to the castle. So we're likely going to be broken the news of this entire situation. Just as a precaution, do not make yourself stand out as of right now.
Very well. And of the blade?
All right. By the way, someone left this message at my doorstep. I'm not sure why or who would know I have connections with you. But it was addressed to a Mr. Astor. And he hands you the letter.
I'll take it and tear it open on the spot.
Tearing it open on the spot, you do see a missive. At the top, it does read... Oh, wrong notes. Tearing it open on the spot and looking at it, it does read the name Amber. When you open it, you remember that Amber was the former general's assistant. And opening it, it does read, alright. Nah, I probably shouldn't do it in her attitude, just how she would write things.
I was super ready for it to be in her attitude. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, probably would, but I'm just gonna do the actual notes of how it would be written down. Written down, it does read, currently everything is in order. Right now they are investigating things, and it'll take up to 3 to 5 days to fully not find anything. Unfortunately, No, it still would have attitude, because that's how she would write. Unfortunately, I was clever enough to clean up the tracks that you had left, including a few things that any diviner would sense. Would be cautious whenever you do anything. Still, though, you shouldn't have too much of an issue or worry. Not knowing that you have items, she is just basically saying, watch what you do. But besides that, she continues. As of right now, I am currently in command of everything that is currently happening under former general. So, don't butt into any business or else it would potentially fall on you, and I cannot save you, as honestly, I am a third party on all this. Just wait it out, and then we'll see what happens after that. Contact me at your own leisure. However, I would advise against it. as of the current few days. Do take care or don't, I really don't care, as long as you don't get anyone else in trouble or involved. That I know. Sincerely yours, Amber.
It is not bad news, Jean. Do not worry.
I'm honestly just worried how the person knew that I was connected to you. Didn't you have scrying? Didn't I sell you some scrying things that would prevent this?
Yes? Question mark? The disguises, I assume, is what he's talking about?
The necklaces, that we have against
right, yeah.
scry magic. We can't be scryed upon.
Unless they're a very good spy, you should not have been found out.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be I would have gone with him because he's been teaching me.
Yeah.
Yoko's been gone.
Yeah, Amber's actually pretty good at her job. But also super selfish, so she will, as long as you guys don't screw up, will keep, according to this information, keep her end of the bargain. But it does seem that no current loose ends are visible. At least, none that you remember. I'm just going to leave that in the air, and if you figure it out, you figure it out. If you don't, you don't. Because there is one loose thread. But, while Milo and Aster are currently training and getting things done, Milo, can you actually use quarterstaffs?
Yeah, druids get quarterstaffs.
Okay, cool.
The staff that I want is technically can only be attuned to by certain classes of druids. The one it says to be attuned.
And I'm assuming you're not that druid?
No, any druid.
Oh, I thought you said a certain class.
No, certain classes, like the Holy Avenger can only be done by a paladin, you know? The staff I asked for him to look for can be like druid, I think wizard and stuff.
Yeah, staff with thunder and lightning. Yeah, but you begin to train with the quarterstaff, making sure your old skills aren't rusty. You've been more or less working with your oath bow, but now that that's broken, you kind of have to switch off.
And then basically use this. You said I can't change my feat until we level up, so I'm gonna use the bow until I can get the staff, and then I'll figure out the feat thing later.
Yeah. As you begin to train, where exactly are you guys training?
Probably the shanty village.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you begin to train in the shanty village, you do see a few people, like, more or less looking at you, making sure that everything is in order. You do see... Oh, I forgot there's a Jean and there's a John.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. John comes over, the drow, and then looks at your form and function, and he does state, that's not bad, but if you want to make sure you actually jab him in the throat, you want to fully press your back leg and drive it in. Just a hope.
I mean, if you would like, we can have some more people join us in our training and sparring. Perhaps we can all teach something we know to everyone else.
I suppose, why not? He does bring a few hunters in to basically help train and things of that nature. Milo and Aster, go ahead and roll. What would be a good training roll? I guess athletics or acrobatics?
I'm gonna be lucky. I'm gonna be lucky. What is this? I just want to roll above a 10.
Athletics or
There we go.
acrobatics?
Yeah.
24.
Wow, you both rolled. Well,
Give me 1 second. My mom's calling. Hold
yeah,
on.
no problem.
That's why I wanted to roll above a 10. Is this something I'm supposed to be good at?
Yeah. Well, you begin to train, making sure everything is done and dealt with. You learn how to stab with daggers. A few other people learn how to throw with swords and things of that nature. You can add an additional simple weapon to your roster of trained weapons, I suppose.
Cries.
It's
I
simple.
think we're all
Because they're
already all
hunters.
proficient with simple weapons.
Not only am I proficient with simple weapons, I'm proficient with both simple weapons twice over.
And then I guess you just brush up on your studying.
Again, I was here to be the trainer, so it's expected that I don't learn much, but Sag.
Unfortunately.
Sorry, I'm back.
Milo, if you're already fully trained with simple weapons, you don't get anything. If you aren't, you can add an additional one to your roster.
Oh, I was wondering if I could train in the process to where I can use my dex for this quarterstaff instead of strength. That was the whole point.
Huh.
Well, you came to the wrong person.
You came to the wrong person. Aster's full strength.
Well, then I need to talk with Yoko when she gets back.
Okay. Through along the process, Kasami gets there. Oh wait, sorry, it's Yoko. Kasami is your alter identity. Eventually, Yoko does travel here in the referendum time. Milo, you train with Aster. You train with a few huntsmen. I guess they technically are huntsmen. Whatever.
Hey.
People here and there, bows, arrows, daggers, knives. You learn to more or less be proficient with simple tools, which honestly, that's all they truly need. Eventually, you make it out of your training regiment, and Kasami eventually gets here. Day by day, after you go over, ask, do you need me for anything? You need me for anything? And Jean always says, no, we're fine. Oh, we're good. They're still investigating, but it shouldn't be too much longer. Another day. They are currently closing the case. It does seem that it is believed another kingdom might have come in and murdered and assassinated them. It will be a few days, as of right now, when the announcement will be made to the public. So be aware of that. The next following day, nothing happens, and then Yoko arrives soon after.
During that, did any of the items that we had asked about arrive?
When you ask for the items, Aster, you do and are handed over the tempered, like super pearl looking, Holy Avenger blade. Now no longer looking like how it used to. It's more cosmetic than anything. Truly nothing has changed except for the color of the steel. That alone, though, is quite a lot. So as long as no one's specifically looking for this blade, no one should find it.
And what of the items that my compatriots have asked about?
Yeah.
I myself even asked about a few others.
Yes, you did. When continuing on, Jean then states, it does seem we luckily enough managed, I rolled well, to find the thunder and lightning staff. It honestly was hard to find, but we just lucked out. But without too much of issue, we can trade your oath bow for this. But it would still require some amount of 100 gold. 100 gold. That is an extra 0. 1,000 gold.
To exchange a very rare oath bow for a very...
I also have to fix your oath bow.
I mean, I should have mended it. It should have been mended.
Oh, yeah.
Since...
You try to mend it, but each time you do, it snaps, 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 snaps.
Here, try using mending on it.
Does Aster have mending?
No, I don't have cantrips.
Okay. Milo, you can't mend this.
I can't mend it because of the oath.
You believe, yeah.
But someone that has mending should be able to fix it. I tell John this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring you here. Yoko, you're here. While this is all happening, you just got into town and you immediately thought they're probably here. But Milo looks towards you, Yoko. After you just walked in, hey Yoko, mend this.
Oh, no, I did not say that. I asked if she had
Okay.
a mending cantrip.
I'm afraid that isn't one I bothered to learn.
Do we have 1,000 gold?
I'm gonna make you his brother-in-law. I don't know. Do you?
We do. It's yeah,
Party
we do.
fund.
Yeah, we do. So,
Again, I had to buy it at a premium. If you want to wait, I'm more than willing to, wait on it. You don't have to buy it right now.
I need it right now. That's the thing. I'm trading the weapon I used was this oath bow.
Well, we can have a tab open, and then when you get a chance to pay it, you can pay it.
just take the gold.
Yeah, I personally don't like owing people money like that. It leaves ties. No offense.
Look, if this is gonna work out, I need you armed, so I'm fine with holding off on being paid. But
We have the money. Just
okay,
take it.
it's a lot of money. It's all I'm saying. Mark, his brother-in-law, just looks toward you, which is why that random guy just showed up. Mark nods.
Wait, this guy's also Mark?
Oh, damn it! That's right. There's like 4 Marks now.
There is?
Now there's like 2, maybe 3.
Oh yeah, there's marks from the underground place.
There
was a mark there.
I'm gonna name you Paul. P-A-L. Spelled awkwardly. Paul. Paul nods. Ow. Paul nods. In agreement. Honestly, John, if they're willing to pay you, more than less, take the money. No offense to any of you, but I honestly don't know the entire story, just that my brother-in-law is helping you. Better to help and not be indebted than to not help and potentially die. Jean then states, I suppose that's true. Even though I don't know what you just said. Very well then. He takes the money, he hands you the Staff of Thunder and Lightning. Milo, you forget that commerce does come at money values. And if he has to look for a specific item, he sometimes does have to pay. And some items, even though their rarities are the same, don't necessarily cost the same thing. I rolled well to find it, but I rolled terribly for negotiation. Yeah. But another story altogether. However, you managed to collect it, and for some reason I was going to say Aster. Well, technically I was going to say Askier, but that's not your name. Aster, what were the items that you were looking for?
Ring of Protection, Cloak of Protection, Bracers of Defense were all the things that I had listed as things that I was looking for.
He does state, I was able to manage to locate the Ring and Cloak of Protection.
I would gladly take them.
All right. He puts them on the table. Thankfully enough, I was more or less did well with these. They still cost some money, and honestly, this is one of the reasons why I didn't want you to pay it immediately. If you don't have any funds, we can open a tab and keep a tally.
What are the what is the cost?
As I look for prices, because all I have are the items you found. I'm just gonna look through the PDF.
Yeah, funny story. They're actually free.
Nah, I basically based them off of same magical prices.
Okay, quick technical question. How do y'all do the yellow or like the kind of brownish text?
/EM.
Okay.
Ring, spell storing, spell tuning. Wait, what? How do you not have the ring of protection on here?
It's like an iconic D&D thing.
Yeah, that's like the most generic magic item there is in D&D.
Are you saying I'm basic?
No, I'm saying the item is basic.
Okay, I found. Oh shoot, that's a lot.
Yeah, those sane magic prices are pretty high.
I mean, it makes sense because magical items should have prices. I'm gonna make it cheaper than this, but it's still gonna be a lot. It was doable, and I did manage to steal it at the price. But I'm willing to go further down. Again, don't want you to not have anything. The ring protection itself would cost 1,800 gold.
Are we fine if I take 5? And wait, and how much is the cloak?
Honestly, I was just waiting until you settled with the number. But the cloak of protection is 1,700 gold. Yeah, Yoko, I know. I'm basically cutting them in half.
Would you be willing to take a trade?
I suppose it depends on what the trade is.
A size-changing great axe?
Oh shit, we had that, didn't we?
Yup.
Are there any other properties other than the size changing?
If there is, I do not know them.
There's not. It just changes sizes.
I said what I said.
Yeah, Heath and states. That's about equivalent to a +1 weapon, I suppose. I can deduct some cash out of that, and it would reduce. I'll say store credit of 1,000 gold.
Are we using this Treant Cloak?
The who?
Okay.
The Treant skin cloak.
I'm using a cloak that gives me Eldritch Blast. That's what I'm using to cover my face. So
We
I don't
also
know if
have
that's what it is.
a cloak that makes people harder to be seen in wooded areas.
I don't think anyone has ever brought that to use it.
No, because I don't need it.
And I just live with the fact that I'm going to have disadvantage and that a +2 is probably not going to help.
I don't have a I get like, what is it? I have like advantage because of my racial ability. I could offer it. I mean, I look over at Aster. I'm like, you think? I mean, I do have back at the with the bear. I do have 2 massive Wendigo horns, like antler stalks. Maybe they might be worth something.
Components, perhaps. That's quite rare to find, especially in the living world. It would probably go around. You have 2 of them. I'd
Yes,
say
they're
probably.
perfectly intact.
I'd say just about maybe 200 gold apiece then. Give or take.
I will since we're I'll use one of my wild shape, and as I activate it, you watch as kind of lurch over, and out of my back, a little owl like forms out of like this steam from my back, and I send it to go get the bear, and the bear will bring the. Don't we have its skull too?
Yeah, you took the whole thing.
You broke off the antlers and then you took the skull for some reason.
The bear, technically, the bear's been wearing the skull this whole time.
It's been sleeping in camp for the longest time. The kids have been basically crawling all over it until you called it forwards. A few moments later, it does get to the store, and you let it in.
Yeah, it's got the skull on it and the 2 antlers. Would you want the skull too? Could it be used for anything?
All right, I'm not gonna ask where you got this, but yes, the skull itself. Again, not gonna ask. It would cost probably around 400 gold pieces. So in total, 800.
Yeah. I mean, I've got the stuff I wanted, so I'm more than willing to part with these materials. I can already imitate the creature, so.
Well, with the axe and the decayed body, that would ring you at 1,800 gold. So I suppose you could just have one of these items.
That's what I'm saying.
And what of the Treant Cloak?
What does that one do? Is that the one for the wilderness?
Yeah.
Well, I unfortunately can't buy that, as treants are sentient creatures, and that would be a black market dealing.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I appreciate you letting us know before we tried selling that somewhere else.
Most people would just look at you funny if they know what it is, and more normal people wouldn't be able to spot it out outright. But if you do try to sell it, give it a different name.
I actually don't think I want to be carrying this anymore, but
what is it made at? Okay, remind me what the creature it is made out of?
Treant skin.
A treant skin. Basically living, breathing humanoid creatures. Trees.
The Treants. Okay,
yeah, the Treants.
I will actually deal with that. I'm going to.
It's like basically wearing a drow, a human, a dragonborn.
Yeah, I'm going to basically. I would basically prefer. I'd like look over at Aster. Would you mind if I return this to the earth?
By all means.
Please do.
I forgot where you got that, honestly.
I think we
From
found
that
it at
haunted
mansion.
house.
The haunted house.
Oh
place.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bad people do bad things.
I'm going to. Did we ever figure out the price or what that the price of that orb that I have was?
Which orb?
The orb of magic we got at that temple.
I don't think you ever got a price. Just what it can potentially do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You asked John. He does state, if you like, I can buy that off of you, but I am not high enough level to potentially use this. I could sell it off at a premium.
So,
however,
what exactly does it do? Me personally forgot, and Milo probably forgot too.
It's a channeler of magic. Basically, you're able to more or less use this as a catalyst and a continuing replication of a process of continuation. Simple enough, meaning you activate something and it'll continue to activate it so long as you decide to keep it functioning.
Oh, so basically it acts as a concentration?
No. It acts more, it's not my expertise field, but I have heard rumors that the kingdom to the north of us is working on, not sentient, but robotic living life. This could be used as a heart for one of these anomalies.
Okay, I was just wondering if I could use it to enhance my magic.
Potentially, but I would not be able to help you on that. I am not. This is not part of my field's work, but I could potentially sell it to someone else that has this skill.
I was just wondering if I could actually use it to permanently absorb out the elements around it.
If you like, I can potentially recommend someone for you to speak with. Most of the people that are working on this type of technology or this type of magical field are in Luminera. There is someone in their kingdom's borders called Oliver that you might be able to speak with.
Would I have known anybody from Aquas that could have done something or another with this?
This is like new magic that they're working with. It's possible that someone through the spy network gathers some of this type of information, but it would be hard to like refine. There might be someone in Aquas that has that type of skill, but they would be in Aquas, which is a kingdom in another continent.
Well, I was just wondering, like, if I should hold on to it. I'll probably just hold on
you
to
do
it.
know of the scientific specialist in Aquas called Reeves. He would probably be able to figure something out.
All right, I'll hold on to it for now. Because didn't you say it also has some sort of divine in it, divine magic in pulsing from it?
I mentioned there was like a divine sense of pulsating energy. It's likely it was used, or that's a type of residual magic that was placed in it beforehand. But John looks at it and it's no longer there. It's just like that was the last thing that was likely used on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'd like.
Yeah, but if he does tell you that if you go to Luminera, there's a man called Oliver that you can speak with over there. He's at the capital and he works for their school. And you know of Reeves, the scientific expert in Aquas.
He doesn't know Reeves.
I said you.
I know. I was one. Okay. I forgot I didn't say that out loud, so they don't know I was thinking about him.
Yeah.
I'll just put it back away. Sorry.
You put it away.
I got kind of boggled down with all the information, so I was trying to.
It's all good.
Center my thoughts.
But he basically states, all right then. Anything else before I give you the information I have?
We're still trying to. Which
I'll go ahead and sell him the ingredients, and then I'll use. I'm gonna, if it's okay with you guys, I'm gonna spend 1,000 gold from the party fund, and I'm gonna get these 2 things.
That's perfectly fine with me, because those will help you stay up in fights, and I assume.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that we need you up more.
I
don't technically need it myself. Like Milo feels like the way he fights is a little different than you guys because of his ability. He feels like he can take more hits because he's trained. The way he's trained, he knows he can probably take more hits than you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
so
animal, definitely probably can. John looks towards you. That wouldn't be enough, but honestly, I'm going to pay the difference for you guys to get rid of the Treant.
I'm going to pay the difference from my own gold.
Don't worry about it.
Free of charge for getting rid of something evil. Got it.
Okay, I will not.
Morbidly questionable. Not necessarily evil, just kind of messed up. Just don't worry about it. That should be enough. It's a thank you for doing a service. He's not cool with that kind of thing. So he's glad you got rid of it. So he's more than willing to pay the difference, which would be 700 gold. Nice enough guy. He then states, anything else?
Not that I know of.
All right,
I'm good. I'm just I basically what I typed in chat. Ask Yoko why them two have been talking to.
All right then. As of right now, we are currently in talks about who is going to replace the general, as well as who is going to replace him on the council, and whether or not it'd be the same individual. We have been given information to potentially put someone up on the seat, as it would. I'm going to speak with the king later tonight and basically put your name forwards. But, Siren? Sorry, Siren immediately stopped when it came near my window. I'm going to put your name immediately forwards as soon as possible, so you are at the very top. However, I do realize that you have certain connections here. So if there's any way you want to put up, let me know. Because once we do this, there's no going back.
I, again, think that then putting me up as Aster the Twice Blessed will suffice.
All right. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. Are there any ties that connect you to the... Well, any tethers you want to let them know that you are connected to this kingdom?
Unless you mean to think that it's a smart move for me to come out as the exiled prince, then no.
It is just harder for me to bring in someone that's outside of the kingdom. But it... not impossible.
You can say the truth and that I reacquired something for your company of great import.
That just suffice. All right, then. Now, I don't mean to ask this of you two. Looks toward Yoko and Milo. Is there any warrants for your arrest here?
Shouldn't be.
At any time, are you associated or connected to any potential syndicates, other kingdoms, and the like?
No
He looks towards
connection.
Yoko.
Yeah.
I don't mean you as a citizen of a different kingdom. That obviously shouldn't be an issue. I just need to make sure that that is hard to find if someone looks into Aster's information.
We did do some work for the honeybees in that other city.
All right. Thank you for letting me know. That shouldn't be an issue.
We promptly killed some of their men too.
All right. That shouldn't be an issue. I can easily swing that in a way that would be beneficial.
And we did clear out one of their what was it? The mansion place. We cleared out one of their
hideouts, the owls.
hideouts. The owls. hideout.
That would be our kingdom's.
Oh, that's their other one. Okay, I thought that was still in that.
It's
Speaking
a connecting
of-
branch for both of them. But John would state, I'm not going to mention that, but I'm going to make sure that it's hidden because they are in deep pockets with one another. But Ashley, you were saying.
Speaking of the owls, Milo should mention that he is in possession of one of their masks.
I don't know what you're talking about. I say I don't know what you're talking about in the voice of the general.
John looks towards you. Paul, like, straight up eyebrow raised. Paul, Pal, I'm going to call him Pal now because that's technically how it's pronounced. Pal looks towards you and his voice. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. I don't know your name, honestly. John looks towards him. Milo. Milo, honestly, potentially dangerous here. However, as long as it's hidden, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But maybe don't go at mimicking dead councilman's voice.
Well, I mean, you guys are the only ones here, so it's okay.
Man, you're just lucky Jean's my brother-in-law, or else problems.
Not
Like-
really.
Like a lot. You literally stabbed a man and now contemplating
I never
potential
stabbed a man.
things.
I never stabbed a man.
Well, someone had to stab the man for them to die.
Nope. He was never stabbed.
All right. It seems that you have issues with stabbing, but not murder. I'm gonna let
No,
those
I
one
don't
go.
have I don't have problem stabbing people. I just said he wasn't stabbed.
I'm gonna just let this one go. He immediately cuts himself out of this conversation.
Milo just chuckles at him. I apologize. I was just trying to lighten up the mood before going into what we're about to go into.
Look, I get it. Just don't show off your trophies, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm not. That's why it's hidden.
All right. Jean then states, so long as you keep it hidden, it shouldn't be any issue. But
other than that, no connections to any other kingdoms besides possibly citizenship. Do I need to roll deception for that?
No, because Aster's done well. Currently he has no reason to not trust you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm technically lying here.
Yeah. He has no reason to trust you, but at the exact same time, he told you why he needs this information. But if you don't want to tell him, that's perfectly fine. But
I'm not telling anybody that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That could mean my death.
Yeah, I get it. It's fine. Jean does state, all right then. The owls should be a problem, but as long as you don't show anyone your trophy, it should much go under the rug. They lose many people. But if you have some of their things, well, that's a different story. So to be cautious on that. I'm going to go tonight. If you have anything needed to do, do it. And in 2 days, we will reconvene at the councilman's chambers, when the actual talks will begin. Tomorrow is when we should give our people that we recommend. And after that is when the actual political talks commence.
All right, Yoko. In those 2 days, can you help me train?
I could try, but I'm not sure how much we'll be able to get done.
I don't need to sleep.
I do, and I definitely like to be well rested before.
I can sleep.
Well,
before
in case things get complicated again.
You don't have to do just show me, get me started. I just want to be in tip-top shape because I want to make sure that I'm not a burden.
Well, if you continue to help us as you have, I doubt you'll be a burden.
I'm pretty sure Milo just wants to try to use Dex instead of Strength for his cord stuff.
Yeah. And being a monk and all. Figured that you'd be able to teach me the ways to do that.
That's a little meta, so I understand why Yoko's like, oh, you won't be a burden. You've been doing quite well so far.
Also, I like that in universe, the first person that Milo turned to for combat training was Aster, who is 3 times his height and is literally swinging a quarterstaff around that probably weighs as much as Milo. And it's just just hit him real hard.
That was intentional. That was to better. That was out of character. That was better. That was to show Aster that Milo trusted him too.
No, I totally get it, but it's pretty funny that it's hey, I'm this small, kind of fast, nimbly person. I need combat training. Hello, giant man.
Show me your ways of smashing people's heads.
You see, it's very simple. I just pick them up by the skull and squeeze.
Yoko just made the perfect sense.
Okay.
We're all making the same point, but okay.
I'd also know, because who would trust a monotoned, fully cowled man?
Yeah, but would they be able to tell if he's lying or not?
Point taken, but they would automatically be on the defensive of, I ain't gonna trust this man whatsoever. I don't care if they're trying to sell me a house for $2. I ain't trusting him.
I mean, yeah, you're basically saying you're a criminal with
Yeah.
that. I mean, you're not saying it, but like, you're Aster 2 speaking it.
Yeah. There is such a thing as body language, Yoko.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and they probably wouldn't be able to tell with your words. But body language is a thing. But yeah. During the time when he goes to speak with the king and deal with the entire situation, basically smoosh, talk, and blah, 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 with a remaining day and a half before you guys go back to the council, what do you do?
I mean, I'm just gonna, if Yoko doesn't want to train, I'm just gonna try and train my best to better use the quarterstaff with, not strength, but with being more dexterous with it.
Yeah. When you begin to wander and train, you do notice that John, not Jean, the drow looks towards you and notices your stances. You're still using your strength because that's kind of the only thing you've currently come accustomed to. It's kind of hard to go back to this kind of thing and be a little bit more finesse with it. He does take note of this. Like you're trying to change your stances, and with this, he does state, look, I don't really know too much about quarterstaffs, but if you're trying to be more nimble with it, I could potentially teach you something, but honestly, it would be pretty difficult since I don't have the expertise.
That's okay. I mean, all the help can be great. Any help would be great.
All right. He begins to show you a few extending movements where you present an entire arm arc rather than a quick jab through and in. It's good training if you like using knives, short swords, and dexterous weapons, but maybe not this. But you try to more or less manipulate and work with everything that you have. Over the course of a few hours, you begin to try to work it on your own. Try to make sure that before you rest, you kind of get this type of patterning down. Unfortunately, he's not that trained in quarterstaffs because he's not. But it does give you a +1. Not enough because he isn't trained, but something. Go ahead and roll either athletics or acrobatics. Actually, no. Acrobatics. It would have to be acrobatics. Because you're using dex.
24.
Pretty good. You begin to train and it's actually going pretty well. There's still some stiffening movements, and if you begin to train and continue on tomorrow, you'll likely get these type of patterns down.
Well, I mean, that's what I plan to do until we have to go. I'm going to train nonstop.
If we were doing a more realistic system, you would be exhausted going into everything. Thankfully, we're not. But with everything going on, you are able to train quite well. Yeah. Milo, go ahead and give me 2 more acrobatics.
Since there's nothing else Yoko would be doing during this time, she would just try and help Milo out with what she can.
I wasn't trying to point out that since you're a monk, you know, that I meant like you're agile. You're very agile. And
you would say it in actual terms, yeah.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean to say monk per se. I meant like, because you're the way you fight and you're so agile and quick, that's where you're more dexterous. You would know how to use weapons dexterously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you begin to train helping out Milo. Thankfully enough, it does give you a little bit of a boost. But honestly, you rolled pretty well. Over the course of the rest of tomorrow, technically, because Yoko and Aster have yet to finish their day, you are able to finally figure out how to use your dexterity with a quarterstaff. Thankfully enough, you're trained with good enough skills with every other weapon. Every other weapon. that you begin to understand how to use this with dexterity rather than just your strength.
And did you say I got a +1 also from what's his name?
To your role in training, not added to your
that's
weapon.
okay. I was just that's why I asked. That's why I was making sure. Because I was.
No, that'd be
making
crazy.
Sure. Gotcha. Okay, that's fine. Because I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. But you rolled honestly pretty well for all of them. So you're now able to use your dexterity with your quarterstaff. Yeah, pretty good. Shoot lightning. But over the course of the time, Yoko, what are you doing for your first half day and then your free day?
I'm not too sure, actually.
Like, you are helping Milo with that, sure, but that's not going to take all day for you. Or at least it shouldn't.
I have something that I could suggest, and you could help me with. I was going to do it on my own, but if you would like to assist, it is involving swords.
Well, I have nothing better to do. And this sounds like it could be interesting, so let's hear it.
Private. I mean to attempt to get the Holy Avenger brought onto the Kopesh.
God damn it.
But
I didn't say anything close to that. Trying to will or in some way move this Holy Avenger, the properties thereof it, onto the Kopesh that we have in storage.
And remind me what the Kopesh is?
different sword.
It's an Egyptian styled sword.
Mm-hmm.
We have one, and this feels like it would be a very fitting use for it.
It's an interesting idea. I have no idea how we would go about doing it, though.
Well, I'm hoping that together we might figure it out.
If you guys have tinker's tools, you can maybe discern and pick at it, see what happens. If not, maybe smithing tools. If not,
smithing tools.
Alchemy.
So I have smiths and alchemists.
Yeah, if Yoko helps you, I guess they would give you advantage on that kind of roll. To discern how to do this, for one.
I would
You would watch.
Yeah, I would watch.
Yeah, aren't you busy trying to practice Dexy flips?
You can watch.
Yeah,
still.
But I mean, you gotta take breaks. You can't always constantly wear yourself out.
Didn't you just say that you were gonna work through the night?
And day.
That didn't mean I wouldn't take a lunch break.
While breaking, Milo can watch.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking with you. I'm just poking fun.
He's doing his training montage right now.
Yeah, training montage. Go. I'm out. See you. I'll be back in a little while.
Yeah. Honestly, he wouldn't be able to do anything, but he would be able to check it out. But would not add to anything.
I was just gonna say, Milo would like to watch this go down because this is something that is interesting. Like you're moving magic from one thing to another. That's interesting to Milo.
Yeah.
Or you're attempting.
Okay. On the first night when you guys begin to train, Milo training half the time, watching, paying attention, or maybe not. Aster, go ahead and roll your tools.
What attribute would you like me to use for this?
This would be intelligence. Damn.
I'm gonna feel lucky and
It's already a natural 20.
Oh yeah, I don't have to. I have advantage. That's right.
That's right.
What are you talking about?
I forgot I had advantage. What
Yeah,
do you
I know.
want from me?
Oh, so I'm pretty sure you
Also-
used up all... No, wait, that was a couple days ago. You should be full.
Yeah, it was a few days ago. Oh yeah.
Thankfully. As you begin to learn, study, and check these things out, Yoko assisting you and Milo just hovering over the table, you can discern that there is a functional way of doing this, and there's also a potential problematic way, but a near immediate way of doing this. One would be to acquire the skills of a very highly trained enchanter and blacksmith. You can clearly tell that Jean, while nice, is not the expert you need. You would need some type of jeweler or someone of that sort to commune with the blade and then exchange the properties with it. But it would take time. It would take maybe 3 days to a week. Now, a quick, immediate slapdash job and potentially breaking the enchantment itself would be to have that same type of enchanter do it, but without any of the restrictions given to the time, the dedication to fuse an enchantment into another blade. That would require a process of a ritual that would take a lot of concentration and a lot of work. Or if they don't do that, very, very lucky.
So, as a paladin, most of my magic just kind of works because I will it into existence, right? It comes from the strength of my oath and my regards in keeping them.
Yeah.
Your conviction and whatnot.
Yeah. Again, literally just willing things to happen because I need them to.
Yep.
Would I be able to attempt as a sort of ceremony will that into existence in the same way that an enchanter might do it through study and knowledge? Could I attempt to do it through sheer willpower and force?
Potentially, but it would be a lot harder.
Well, I gather up my candles and my incense, and I'm sure as hell gonna try.
Okay. It would have to do the next following day. So you guys rest, gather your candles and everything, prepare for the following day. Milo goes out, train. Aster, you begin to set things up. During this process, while getting everything ready, Yoko, is there anything you do the following day?
I'm just gonna see if I can try and help Aster out and hope things don't go terribly wrong.
All right, you basically spot Aster because there's really no way of helping him in this case because this is something quite literally he has to do alone because it's quite literally his own willpower. I don't know how you can... I guess a bard could help you on that. And maybe a cleric. Yoko, are you a cleric or a bard? I'm pretty sure there's a no in both of those. Yeah. You give him moral support, and in case something does go awry, you'll be there to help. But after you begin to prepare everything in this tent, you basically ask Jean to make sure no one comes in this tent. The people that were staying there with you take their stuff and go in another tent. That's perfectly fine. You begin to prep up,
Go
set
on,
everything.
Kit.
There was only like 1 or 2 people in there. You begin to set things up, making sure everything's set up and ready. Milo, on and off again, comes in, checks things out, comes back out, train. Aster, it would be a very difficult process, but it is a process that's still technically possible. However, you do not have the skill set, and you are just trying to forcibly will this thing, which makes it harder. Since this is your willpower and strength, I'm going to say this is religion. If you can think of any other way of wording it, we can roll something else.
Persuasion. Ask it very nicely.
I'm going to ask it very politely. No, the idea of communing with the swords is kind of what I'm focusing on here.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that the inscription is in Celestial, I'm trying to commune with this celestial nature. I don't even know if there's a sentience behind it, but I would like to attempt to, I guess, speak, converse, feel the presence of the celestial energy, and sort of guide it into the other sword. Is kind of my thoughts on this process.
Yeah.
Because aren't technically Holy Avengers made by the gods, not wizards?
I have no idea. That's both in and out of character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an out of character question, sorry.
Well, that's fine. I don't know. That's your answer.
I mean, the Dungeon Master's Guide doesn't say anything about it, so...
Yeah.
And since this is a custom campaign setting, I would say just that's all up to a dogma.
A dogma.
Yeah. I'm going to say it was made by a man. Or a dude.
Okay.
Or she. You don't know who it is. But it was made by an immortal person, because it was, in my notes, made by a mortal person. But this would be either religion, or since you're trying to commune with the blade and will it and move it naturally into the next blade, nature. It would be a disadvantage because you have never done this type of thing.
That's okay. I'm sure he's great at nature and religion.
You know, it's just religion, actually.
Maybe survival, but that's honestly just maybe.
Again, just religion out of these.
Well, religion it is.
That's what we're going for.
You just really don't want to talk with a third person, do you?
So the actual thought process there, in case anyone is wondering, is that it's probably better we try to stop involving people.
Yeah.
And even though Aster isn't vocalizing that, that's the thought process there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you. Okay. You begin the process of your meditation, and after a few moments, you do feel a connection with the blade. You do hone your skills, and you have your own instincts fighting with this blade's energy and begin to try and transfer it. You do feel a tether connecting both blades, and right now the process is forceful. It's like trying to curve a waterfall into a different and opposite direction. It is fierce, but not impossible, because that's what trenches are. Technically. So when you begin to lay the brickwork and dig into, so the flow of energy goes into a different blade altogether, I want you to go ahead and roll. But before that, okay, thankfully you didn't roll yet. Before that, is there any way you can think of that would be able to be boost? Because this is your own will. So are there any other skills you have other than looking?
Am I able to use, instead of forcefully digging this trench, am I able to use myself as sort of a pipeline, using myself as the transfer mechanism, having 2 blessings on myself to sort of help guide the celestial energy from one waterfall into another, and I'll open myself up to sensing it. And in a very real sense, I'll use divine sense to like sort of open myself up.
Yeah. That wouldn't be impossible, but it would be dangerous for you. It would also mean that if you do fail, you don't lose the Holy Avenger. You just aren't able to transfer it.
Okay, I mean, Aster's self-sacrificing by nature, so by all means.
Okay. You begin to, instead of digging the trench, you use your own body to channel the energy through you and into the next blade, which is, again, something you have never done. Still disadvantage, but if the process doesn't work, it has a organism to transfer itself back into the previous blade, so nothing would be lost. But at the exact same time, that type of energy coursing through a body would likely hurt. And it would also be radiant, so if you do have resistance to radiant, it would be reduced down by some. Okay.
Half, actually.
I'm assuming lucky. Okay. Anything else, Aster?
I'm thinking.
Because I'm not going to say yes or no until you say, okay, I think that's it, or I'm done.
I don't know. That's it.
Okay. You begin to focus in and channel your energy, and then immediately you feel a vibration within your body. It's circulating into the very core of your being, and it does feel like it's going straight up into your right hand and then going down into your left one where the second blade is. As soon as it touches it, it begins to have a weird vibration effect, which means it is not taking. Immediately you let go of the blade, and that type of coarse energy rushes back to its initial point, causing significant damage inside your body, but not something you can't not survive. You can survive. Sorry, that's a weird way of phrasing that. You do sustain 3d10 points of radiant damage. If you can reduce that, you are able to. So 18. But the enchantment is able to circulate through you and back to its originating blade. It doesn't seem that you had enough to fully integrate the property into the other one. I didn't realize that your bonus was 4, so I guess you needed a natural 20. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, you would have needed a natural 20. In your case, you would have needed a natural 20. It's not impossible. It's just with your numbers. The blade is still intact, but the enchantment has not transferred.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. But unfortunately, with your skills, Aster, it is not likely.
I'm going to try it again. But this time, instead of trying to... I'm still using myself as a sort of medium between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of trying to move this waterfall, I want to try to commune directly with the celestial nature of the blade. I want to try to persuade it to let it be known that this is something that it is in the best sense of carrying out its purpose, and that I would not be asking it of this if I did not think it necessary.
It's weird, but I suppose doable. It doesn't have a connecting mind to it, but it does have a purpose and a will. But at the exact same time, Master... No, someone identified this blade. Who identified this? I think it was Yoko.
Yoko.
Yeah.
From what Yoko has told you, and I think you told people, this blade
Yeah, I would
was
have told Aster.
designed to be very dangerous against the undead and fiend-blooded individuals. I suppose if you try to persuade it with the current properties it does have, you might be able to, but you're going to have to say that out loud because it might not work. If you say it properly, I'd give you advantage, which just flattens out the roll.
When I'm communing, then I'll let it be known. I'll speak aloud that the blade that it was in was held by a tainted individual, not of fiendish blood, but of fiendish nature. And now there is an army of fiends that lay in wait, preying on the souls and weariness of the innocent.
I'm going to say not enough to give you advantage. You can still roll persuasion, but it would still be at disadvantage.
I don't know what I would sell. I don't know what I would say to.
Yeah, it's very hard.
I literally, I mean, I told it what we know, and I thought that would be enough. Of, hey, there's literally an army of demon people that are gonna kill a bunch of people.
That is interesting, but all that means is it has potentially more targets to murder. It was designed for a fiendish man. Maybe not a fiendish blood, but a not so nice person. So when you tell this blade, you get the feeling that fantastic, more bodies to put into the ground. Rather than, I should help you.
If that is its nature, then I can appeal to it even farther.
Yeah.
This blade, it is no longer fit for function of such battles. The new one, the new housing, is far more suited to war and to conflict. Within it, you could bury far more bodies.
Okay, that's not bad. At the first, it's a good thing it doesn't have a conscience, because the first part, you're just insulting the thing. I'm gonna say with the last tidbit of potentially murdering more people and making it more basically dangerous for them, yeah. It's gonna be a flat roll now. Congratulations, you persuaded me to persuade this fiendish blade.
Again, appealing to the nature of the conscious of the sword.
Yeah. Not bad.
28.
Okay. Where the D8?
Because I am
maneuver.
literally too strong.
You expand one spirit die and add the spirit die to the ability die. Okay. I always forget.
I am the destined commander. That is why.
You begin to funnel in and channel the energy. You begin to give the blade the speech before it fully connects into the other blade. As you finalize your speech, it begins to... It's gonna hurt your body still, but you feel that the energy is moving through 18. Through and out from your right hand into the left, and then finalizing and carving in to the blade that you want it to enter inside. As the process ends, the finalized process. Sorry, as the process ends, the finalized blade has a very guttural look to it. It looks more demonic than anything else, but at the exact same time, it holds the colors of gold, silver, very angelic looking by the color value, but it has gnarled edgings to it. If you cut through someone with this, it will hurt significantly, render and cut and rip flesh through and through. This blade was designed for a purpose. And now it even looks more designed for that purpose. Milo, I'm gonna say you caught that last bit.
So, question on the Kopesh, actually. We have it as I'll just show you what we have it written down as.
+1 Kopesh, blended strength weapon. Blended strength weapon as long as it's great sword, versatile, requires martial weapon person. Yeah.
What's the versatile? What does it if it's as strong as a greatsword, so it's 2d6. What does versatile give it?
If it's 2d6 as a standard weapon, it would bump up the dice significantly by 1.
So 2d8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alternatively, you can just make it a different blade and flavor it as a Kopesh.
And I am hurt.
Yeah. Yoko, you do see like Aster heavily breathing. You don't see like any external wounds, but there's clearly a lot of internal ones.
So I just sort of take a moment to refocus. And I'm gonna lay on hands myself.
It's not normal. You've never done this. Aster almost died.
He got better.
He got better.
Like I said, that's normal.
After a good while, Aster, you're back and able to get back on your feet. Milo, you finish off your training, and Yoko, do you decide to do anything other than helping your companions?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. Through the constant process of everything that's done, Aster, you were able to change your Holy Avenger into your Kopesh. You can still keep the blade. It honestly doesn't look... it doesn't have the fervor. It doesn't have the enchantment in it anymore. It's still a pretty good sword, but you have a better one in your left hand now.
I will give the original back to Yoko and let her know that when I am done, or whenever she thinks I am done with this one, I will return it to her.
Okay. Milo, you finish off your training, and you guys rest for the following day. The day of politics, the day that is to come, and probably, potentially, in your minds, probably the most boring day. Maybe. But we'll figure that one out in 5 minutes as we take our 5-minute break. Alright, I'll be right back.
Alright, I'm back to the computer.
Welcome back. Everyone else good to go?
Arn ready.
Okay. I mean, technically we were born a prince, but look where that got you.
Yeah, it got me fucking super leprosy.
Yeah. Let's get started. As you begin to move within the finalized day, you meet Jean at his more or less shop. Before heading out, you say, "Hey, see you later," towards his brother-in-law. As you walk there, Jean does state, "We managed to finalize it to 3 individuals. Aster, you'd be one of them. And then there's 2 associated with Bract and Nornallo. Bract is another merchant just like myself, but he has a little bit more coin than I do. So if he did manage to palm a little bit more coins into the councils than I have, well, we'll have to be worried. But I did spend a lot there, so I don't know how much he's willing to do. So we'll just have to risk it. Nornallo is a family member of the already Elven Enclave in themselves, so he would have to vote against no matter what, as it would be a potential, it would be seen as nepotism. In fact, I do believe it is his nephew. He would be accompanied by his candidate as well. I believe their names are William and Folia. I don't know why I gave him that name. If you have any questions now, I know some information about them since I had to snoop in them myself, as I'm currently playing the political name. If not, that's perfectly fine. The less you know about them, the better you'll likely feel if things have to get a little bit more red.
All will be as it will be.
I'm going to take that as a no. As you head over there, and before you enter inside the place, I'm assuming, Yoko, you transform. If not, I'll bring in your other token.
I'll use my disguise.
Okay. You disguise yourself, and Milo, you more or less look the same. Even when you were disguised, you just look better dressed. Yeah, I guess you just look worse dressed?
I'm not disguised.
Yeah, you just look worse dressed.
I've never been disguised in front of these guys.
You were disguised with the general to look better, but honestly, that kind of died out after the second day.
No, I never disguised myself in front of the general, or any time. The only time I disguised was when I changed into Bilbo, the way Bilbo looked when we were planning to kill the dude. I have not once disguised myself except it.
Okay.
Because he's an accepted race, right?
I'm an accepted race.
Currently, yes.
And then I disguise myself, but just enough so that I can take my mask off.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good. Then I have this note put in the wrong place. Okay, that's not an issue. Honestly, they wouldn't know anyways. Entering inside, you are led in after people try to stop Kasami and Milo. Jean does state, they're with me. Right now, they're acting as a contingency in case I need protection, as I do not know what Bract and Nornallo are currently doing. You know, the whole politician game. The guards more or less understand and allow them to bypass. So you guys are able to enter inside, but Jean does state, try not to offend anyone. If you do, well, I can't help you in that regard, since I'm trying to help Aster in this regard.
I'll keep my mouth shut then.
Same.
All right. If you do speak, be careful. You eventually enter inside, and inside you see the councilman already here. You also see Amber in place of the former general, but you already knew that because you were given the letter. King Anak is already here, present and accounted for, even though this is the first time you've met him. And he's immediately distinctive. He has the whole regalia about him, the crown, and still has that same type of ombre hair that Astra has. At least from the tokens. I could be wrong. Astra could be a dirty blonde, as far as I know. But
No, you got it right.
okay. The hair almost matches pretty closely, but not enough. As you enter inside, Bract is already aligned with his candidate, and so is Nornallo. So John lines up as well, and the king then basically picks up the gavel and hits the table. Everyone else at attendance takes note and looks towards him. That man reminds me of the exiled prince. Guards kill him.
That man looks like that baby that I had sent away.
And presumably died. Babies can't survive in the woods, potentially. King Anok looks towards the council members and then looks towards the 3 people chosen here. As it stands now, we are at the precipice of... No, that's the wrong word I used. Doesn't matter. I'm going to continue on. Anyways, at a turning which we have not expected. Amber, I wanted to thank you for your arrangements, making sure that the army did not decay away and the projects at hand were also taken care of. As such, you are allowed to do what you will soon after. And as a precaution, I will give you a reward in turn on what you ask. But that'll be at a later date, after the ceremony, if you will. She nods, bows, and basically backs up towards the table. Towards the door, as she's no longer the individual that is controlling the army. She's just someone that is owed a favor, but, you know, not important enough to sit at the table. King then looks towards the rest of you. Now then, Jean, Bract, and Nornallo, you have given each of us a substantial wording on each of your individuals, and we have looked into each of them and their respective connections. Not as if we don't have our ears to the ground and our eyes to the sky. So tell me now, why should we bother listening and giving this position to the man or woman chosen here today? Bract starts off going, "Oh, well, you king. Well, it does seem that we do need someone to fill the councilman's chamber, and, well, seating. We also need someone strong, virile, strength and kin, with something of a nature to magic and other sorts of things. I have here Sir William, a very high nobleman individual, gifted and blessed with the light of the divine. They themselves are Nasimar, highly coveted and highly trained and skilled, and part of this kingdom already. Unlike other folk. That being said, though, they also have the skill and the aptitude to train and, well, give proper guidance in magic. They are more than suited to be the next heir to the chair, if you don't mind me saying it that way." The king more or less pays attention, and Zahn and the rest of the council more or less take note. Next stepping up would be Jean, and then in his own way states, "As it stands now, we do need someone strong and capable to sit at this table. I believe Aster, twice blessed, would be such an individual. They have been gifted and granted the blessings of 2 deities, 2 divine individuals that have a bit of luck to them, and have a bit of the natural order of things to them. These are 2 things we do require and do need in a civilization for it to continue to advance and to evolve. Without luck, we wouldn't be able to continue on and survive the things we tend to likely die to. And without understanding nature, we will likely blow ourselves completely sky high with any endeavors we try to overstep. Aster, twice born, twice blessed, rather, is someone truly needed in this kingdom today. And they have the skills to lead the people. The king nods and I'm going to make a roll here. Modifier. Okay. The king nods and everyone else looks towards this individual that, from what they know, is not from this kingdom, but based off the information they have, are more or less able to register everything just fine. Nornallo then looks towards his own candidate and then states, as it stands now, my candidate themselves are highly bred, highly raised, and of two very gifted families. They have the skill to be and become the general that we do need and require. They already have the blood in them that gives them the gifts of the elves. And even furthermore, they have the gift of the Feywild born and gifted. They are someone bred to this position, and someone we clearly need, as not everyone should sit at this table. And this would at least add to the ones that should. King Anak looks, nods, and so does the rest of the council. Zahn, the elven council member, also more or less agree to things. It does seem, though, that the dwarf and halfling, that type of speech struck a nerve to them. Either way, they more or less give the signal that they heard the speech. King Anak then states, "We have heard from your representatives. Now we will hear from the candidates themselves. Those wishing to speak up first may do so." Alright, before... I asked her you removed before I actually rolled. Asked you to go for it.
I just was gonna seize the initiative, like showing the king that, hey, you said the floor was clear. I'm not gonna wait for that opportunity to pass. I'm gonna seize the initiative.
Yeah, that's honestly why I was rolling. But you honestly did it physically, so beats me rolling. Go for it.
Aster steps forward. As I have been introduced as Aster Twice Blessed, you have no doubt, some of you, thinking that there are falsehoods to such a claim. If you hold those beliefs, I implore you, stand now and come inspect me, and we'll show you the truth of it. For everyone else, know that I am unmatched in martial combat. I know how to lead, and I know how to inspire. I will do all that I might so that I can do both those things. For there are surely troubling waters ahead.